go to ABC. It wasn't Clive's fault that he couldn't pay me anymore, but 75 quid on Shoreside, 50 quid on ABC, and then up to 100 on WR, as I remember. But it was just because it was the right thing to do at the time. But fantastic days. Some people say, where did the good old days? Yeah, they were, but these are also good old days for a lot of us. And I have to say, I'm still enjoying the good old days. So I'm not going to say that I look back and say, oh God, I wish it would happen again. It happened once, it's not going to happen again. I'd love to think there could be a ship moored off Dunmore East in a couple of weeks' time. And I would pick loads of you guys any day. Ray Sarsfield, so many of you here tonight. I would gladly hand pick a schedule where I could have Steve and Andy and Kerry and get you on there, and Jeff, and you know, so many of you guys that are here tonight. What a station it would be if you guys were able to do what you know how to do, and you were able to sort of use your initiative and play your own music. And but that's like, it's not going to happen, is it? It's Cloud Cuckoo Land. But hey, look, we had what we had. And Brian, I just want to say, we all have had ideas. Maybe Steve, Clive. I know I've tried with the idea of writing a book over the years, but we're all too lazy. That's what disc jockeys are. They're lazy. It took a guy like you to come along and actually get this thing going, interview 55 people, whatever it is, and get the thing going. And well done. So would you give Brian a big round of applause for actually getting this done? And Colin Kennedy, the Heavy Metal Kid, I believe, was his nickname years ago. I read that somewhere, but he's got a book coming out in the next couple of weeks. So that's another launch I'm looking forward to going to in 2 weeks' time. And thanks to all you guys along the way, because it's been fantastic fun. And I hope that will continue in whatever shape or form. And good to see you here tonight. And it'll be a good photograph to be in, so don't anyone go away. Just get into the photograph afterwards, and we want to show the grandkids. So thanks again, and well done, Brian. Thank you.
Thanks, Eddie. What we're going to do here now, briefly, Ronnie Clear is going to come up here, and I want Paul Butler of Neuro to come up. We're going to have a little bit of a chat, and then after that we're going to take a picture of all the DJs over there, and then we'll get out of your face. Ronnie Clear, can you come up, please?
Thanks again, Brian. One part of the book that we just want to touch upon very briefly, and as Brian said, we got the photograph taken then. As a lot of you know, back in the days of ABC, I had a program on a Saturday called Kissing the Brani, which was an hour-long program with, you remember, Clive, Kissing the Brani. I think it was, what was his name? Benny Hill. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Anyway, that was an hour-long program with Irish bands, but back in the 1980s, it was very difficult to get an hour-long program with just Irish bands, unless you were playing Fiddlesy, The Rats, Yodeling, Van Morrison. That was pretty much it. But for me, one of the reasons that radio meant so much to me was the fact that we get local bands, give them a bit of airtime. We had a few of the guys from Music Moves on here earlier on, and it gave them a great leg up. And one band that Shane seriously was a big fan of was the Blades, and my encounter with the Blades was one that I always remember, simply because at the time RTE was boycott pretty much any Irish band that went on the pirate radios. If they went on the pirate radios, they were pretty much ostracized from getting any airplay on the national airways. So I remember saying to Paul Cleary one day, I said, look, he was playing out in Katie Riley's, I think. He said, would you be interested in coming on the radio? I'd love to have a big name like yourselves on air. I said, well, I must warn you, said, RTE probably will boycott you from their playlist. And his words were exactly, fuck them, I'm with you. So in he came, did the interview, and Paul Cleary, I'm not great friends with Paul, but I'd see him every now and again, and we'd shake hands, I always remind him of that day. Local bands in particular, back there, Paul's going to come up very quickly now and probably say a few words about how the local radio.
I was just discussing something about radio, and as a musician, radio is very important to us. And it might actually bite the nose and feeds you. There's something sadly missing, and it is pirate radio. Pirate radio is something that is really, really missing in society for young people to be able to reflect their thoughts and their music and without having to subscribe to, you know, airplay or airtime or this, whatever they want to call it. But when these boys all started radio stations, and there was no sort of licensing or no format as such, what radio has done is it's taken a fantastic, how would I say, backward step into formality. And one of the great things about the radio stations when I grew up was that they didn't have any formality. And I think that's possibly why New World might have got played on radio. And almost, you know, every radio station, pirate radio station, national radio station. But before we ever got aired on any national radio station, we were playing on pirate radio stations. That to me was a lifeline, because it meant that people who were listening to those stations were coming to our gigs, and our gigs were being well supported, and then people were taking attention to us. So I think it was an important and essential ingredient to any young bands and any young musicians is to be played on radio. And I, you know, personally still have a great relationship with WLR, and you know, I feel, you know, always welcome to my music. It's just great to have that relationship. And with Robbie as well, KCLR, and various other radio stations. But however, look, to cut a long story short, I'd like to say it's been an honour to come down here, and I'd like to thank Brian Kennedy especially, because somebody who took the time out actually to write about this shit is unbelievably possessed. Alright, so I'd like to say, Brian, you know, we're all together, and cheers very much. Thank you for inviting me out here tonight. Thanks a lot. Thanks for it.
One man coming through.
This is the man. Lads.
Boston kids, lads, come on. Bill in there. Get Kerry Gray in the front here. Hey, dude, you won't be seeing it there. Stick your head down. Matt, you won't be seeing that hat on.
Really well.
I always fancied this.
Jesus, man! Jesus!
It's got to be done, boys. It's got to be done. The view point. Shout out.
Martin, say that.
Shout out for
Everybody say sex!
ABC.
Say sex!
How can't you see that? We get the bad name.
Look, come in.
This will be your only memory of tonight, lads. So make it a good one. Right, lads.
Martin, move. Christ. Martin, move.
Stick your heads out. Hey! My knees are again, lads, please. Yeah. Eyes up, one more, please. Eyes up, yeah. Now, what a big roar. Come on. Good stuff. Woo! Oh my God.